Hello class. Again I am here to discuss about another kingdom, Kingdom Plantae, through this video. Class, already we had discussed first three kingdoms, that is Kingdom Monera, Kingdom Protista, Kingdom Fungi. Now we will discuss Kingdom Plantae, in which first we will see the characteristic features of kingdom of the organisms which belongs to Kingdom Plantae. First of all, Kingdom Plantae consists of all green plants. When we see the type of cell, they are eukaryotes because nucleus is well defined. They are multicellular. When we see the structure of cell, the cell wall of plant cell is made up of cellulose. Cell wall is made up of cellulose. They are autotrophic, means they can prepare their own food by photosynthesis process. In photosynthesis process, they take help of chlorophyll, means they perform photosynthesis with the help of chlorophyll which is present in the chloroplast of their cells. They are fixed in one place. They cannot move from one place to another. They do not have a definite shape also. On the basis of the presence or absence of vascular tissue, class, when we say vascular tissue, it means we are talking about xylem and phloem. As you know that xylem is the water conducting tissue of plants and phloem is the food conducting tissue of plants. So on the basis of presence or absence of vascular tissue, plants are divided into two groups. First one, non-vascular plants, and the second one, vascular plants. Non-vascular plants do not have roots, stems or leaves. They do not contain roots, stems or leaves. They do not have vascular tissue also. It means they do not have xylem and phloem. Bryophyte is the example of this type of plants. Bryophytes are non-vascular plants. Now what about vascular plants? Vascular plants contain vascular tissue. It means xylem and phloem that transport food and water through the plants. In this we can take example angiosperms, gymnosperms, ferns, etc. Based on whether a plant produces flowers and seeds or not, the plant kingdom is divided into two broad categories. A plant produces flowers and seeds or not, on the basis of that, the plant kingdom is divided into two broad categories. The first one is non-seeded plants or cryptogams, and the second one is seed-bearing plants or phanerogams. Clear, children? Cryptogams and phanerogams. Cryptogams, the seedless and flowerless plants. Let's see the characteristics of cryptogams. Cryptogams do not bear flowers and seeds. Cryptogams are those plants that do not produce flowers and seeds. They reproduce through spores. Cryptogams reproduce through spores because they do not have special male or female reproductive units to produce seeds. Clear, class? Cryptogams do not have special male or female reproductive units to produce seeds. So their reproduction is termed hidden reproduction also. Clear? Their reproduction is termed hidden reproduction. They need moist environment to survive. Cryptogams need moist environment to survive. And you can see the examples of cryptogams: yeast, Chlamydomonas, Spirogyra, ferns, mosses, all these are examples of cryptogams. Cryptogams are divided into three groups: Thallophyta, Bryophyta, Pteridophyta. Cryptogams are further divided into three groups: Thallophyta, Bryophyta, and Pteridophyta. Thallophyta are plants that are usually microscopic, means they are very minute and in structure, and in which the body is not clearly divided into roots, stems or leaves. Body is not divided into roots, stems or leaves. Algae such as Spirogyra, this is Spirogyra, and Chlamydomonas are grouped into Thallophyta. Did you know, students? Brown algae called kelps. Brown algae called kelps are among the largest known plants and may grow up to a length of 60 meters. Bryophyta. Bryophytes are primitive multicellular plants that grow in moist places. Moist means slightly wet, so they grow where place is moist, and they need water for reproduction. For reproduction, water is needed for them. Bryophytes mostly include mosses, these are mosses, and liverworts. These two, liverworts and mosses, are bryophytes. Third, Pteridophyta. Pteridophytes are multicellular plants that have well-developed roots, stems and leaves. In pteridophytes, roots, stems and leaves are present, but they do not bear flowers and seeds. Clear, children? They do not bear flowers and seeds. Fern is an example of pteridophytes. Phanerogams, the seed plants. After cryptogams, we will discuss about phanerogams. Their body is differentiated into true stem, leaves and roots. True stems, leaves and roots are present. Vascular tissues are present, means xylem and phloem. And sex organs are well developed. Sex organs are well developed, means phanerogams include plants that have special organs for reproduction. These plants bear male and female reproductive units to produce seeds. Clear? Male and female reproductive units are present to produce seeds. They are multicellular. Clear, children? Now, phanerogams are also divided into two categories: gymnosperms, angiosperms. Clear? Phanerogams divided into two categories: gymnosperms and angiosperms. First, we will discuss gymnosperms. In this, first we will see characteristic features of gymnosperms. Gymnos means naked. Sperma means seeds. They are naked seeded plants. These group of plants have ovules which are not enclosed and thus seeds remain naked. Plants included in gymnosperms have seeds that are not enclosed in the fruits. Students, generally fruits which we eat like guava, apple, orange, in these fruits seeds are enclosed inside the fruits. Clear? Seeds are enclosed in the fruit. But what about the plants which included in gymnosperms? They have seeds that are not enclosed in the fruits. You can see in the figure that cone, this is cone containing seeds for reproduction. In another diagram, you can see seed. which is naked. Most of the gymnosperms are evergreen. Why they are known as evergreen? Because they do not shed all their leaves at one time and remain green throughout the year. At one time, they do not shed their leaves and remain green throughout the year. Therefore, they are also known as evergreen plants. Plants included in gymnosperms are also called coniferous trees or conifers. These trees are called coniferous trees or conifers. Gymnosperms are mostly tall trees. You can see in the figure, they all are tall and growing on the mountains. Clear? Gymnosperms are mostly tall trees. In figure you can see that they are very tall and they grow on the mountains. Now we will see some examples of gymnosperms. In front of you, cedar is there. This is pine tree. This one is spruce and this one is cycas. So all these plants, cycas, spruce, pine, cedar, all these are the examples of gymnosperms. Next, angiosperms. So after gymnosperms, we will discuss angiosperms. In angiosperms, seeds are enclosed in the fruit. What about gymnosperms? In gymnosperms, seeds are not enclosed in the fruit. But what about in angiosperms? In angiosperms, seeds are enclosed in the fruits like guava, apple, orange. In all these fruits, seeds are enclosed in the fruits. Fruits grow from flowers. In angiosperms, seeds grow from flowers. So, angiosperms are called flowering plants. Most plants on earth are angiosperms or flowering plants. All crop plants, pea, sugarcane, sunflower, petunia, rose are some examples of angiosperms. On the basis of the number of cotyledons or seed leaves, angiosperms are further divided into two groups, dicotyledons and monocotyledons. Monocotyledon plants bear seeds with only one cotyledon. They have only one cotyledon in their seeds. And the examples are jowar, maize, wheat, coconut, etc. Now, when you will see dicotyledon plants bear seeds with two cotyledons. You can see in the figure there are two cotyledons. And examples of dicotyledon plants are pea, gram, groundnut, sunflower, water lily, etc. Students, we have already discussed that angiosperms are divided into two groups on the basis of number of cotyledons, that is monocotyledons and dicotyledons. Now, on the basis of their sizes, angiosperms are divided into three groups, that is herbs, shrubs and trees. Herbs are very small plants. Herbs are small plants with a soft and delicate stem. Clear, children? Herbs are small plants with soft and slender green stems. Their stems never become woody and grow to only a short height. Okay? You can see in the figure, these are herbs. And examples of herbs are mint, pea, rice, mustards, etc. Shrubs. Shrubs are medium-sized plants. A shrub or bush is a small to medium-sized perennial woody plant. Why shrub is also known as bush? The reason is that many branches of almost the same size arise from the base of the stem immediately above the soil. That is the reason. Many branches of almost the same size arise from the base of the stem immediately above the soil, so they look like bushes. They are distinguished from trees by their multiple stems and shorter height, less than 6 meter to 10 meter. In front of you, bushes are there or shrubs are there. Stems are mostly thin, hard and woody. Stems of shrubs are mostly thin, hard and woody. Examples of shrubs are rose, jasmine, china rose, bougainvillea, etc. And the third group is trees. A tree is a tall plant. You all have seen trees. A tree is a tall plant with a trunk and branches made of wood. Trees can live for many years. The oldest tree ever discovered is approximately 5,000 years old, and the oldest tree from the UK is about 1,000. The main 4 parts of the tree are roots, trunk, branches and leaves. You can see in the figure that trees are tall plants with a thick, hard and woody main stem called trunk. This is trunk. They stand erect and have many branches in the upper part. Examples of trees, so many: mango, banyan, eucalyptus, neem, all these are examples of trees. Did you know, class? Sequoia is the tallest tree living on earth with a height that can reach up to 150 meters. In front of you, sequoia tree is there, which is the tallest tree living on earth with a height that can reach up to 150 meters.